Good evening. You're watching News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Before we take you through the big news stories of the day, Rajya Sabha TV appeals to all its viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear face masks, wash your hands and face regularly, and maintain physical distancing while stepping outside. Remember, these simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the ongoing pandemic. And now let's get to the headlines. Neglect of contributions of true heroes in history of India being corrected. Prime Minister Modi says on Maharaja Suheldev's birth anniversary. Previous governments did not give due respect to great leaders like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Patel and B.R. Ambedkar. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu accepts resignation of Trinamool Congress MP Dinesh Trivedi, recognizes Mallikarjun Kharge as leader of the opposition in the upper house. Congress government reduced to minority in Puducherry after party MLA A. John Kumar resigns. Ruling party and opposition now have 14 seats each. "45 bodies recovered in Madhya Pradesh accident. Bus with 54 passengers fell into the Bansagar Canal in Siddhi district. The President, the Vice President and the Prime Minister expressed grief. And the Delhi police seeks details of video conference from Zoom app in toolkit case. Accused Disha Ravi, Nikita Jacob and Shantanu Muluk charged with meeting online on 11th of January to prepare the toolkit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday laid the foundation stone for a statue of warrior King Suheldev of Shravasti in Uttar Pradesh. He also launched projects for the beautification of Shravasti, Chittora Lake in Bahraich district of the state via video conferencing. Launching the projects, the Prime Minister said that a lot of work is being carried out in Uttar Pradesh for the development of tourism. Here's a detailed report. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Suheldev's statue and development of historic Chittora Lake will inspire generations to come. Inaugurating a medical college in the name of Maharaja Suheldev, Prime Minister Modi said that it will provide better medical facilities in Purvanchal area and also to the people of Nepal. He further said that the development of Bahraich area will give a boost to tourism and benefit local artists, artisans and the workers. The Prime Minister said the contribution of great people like Maharaja Suheldev cannot be forgotten.
भारत का इतिहास सिर्फ वो नहीं है जो देश को गुलाम बनाने वालों, गुलामी की मानसिकता के साथ इतिहास लिखने वालों ने लिखा। भारत का इतिहास वो भी है जो भारत के सामान्य जन ने भारत की लोक गाथाओं में रचा बसा है, जो पीढ़ियों ने आगे एक पीढ़ी से दूसरी पीढ़ी बढ़ाते रहे हैं.
The Prime Minister also said that many great leaders like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and B.R. Ambedkar were not given due respect by previous governments. He added that it is a misfortune that the people who sacrificed their lives were forgotten in history.
इतिहास रचने वालों के साथ इतिहास लिखने के नाम पर हेरफेर करने वालों ने जो अन्याय किया, उसे अब आज का भारत सुधार रहा है, सही कर रहा है, गलतियों से देश को मुक्त कर रहा है.
Hitting out at the opposition, Prime Minister Modi said the new farm laws are in the interest of the farmers, but attempts are being made to misguide them.
आज गांव का गरीब किसान देख रहा है कि उसके छोटे से घर को बचाने के लिए, उसकी जमीन को बचाने के लिए पहली बार कोई सरकार इतनी बड़ी योजना चला रही है। इतना बड़ा रक्षा कवच हर गरीब को, हर किसान को, हर ग्रामवासी को दे रहा है। इसलिए जब कोई कृषि सुधारों के माध्यम से किसानों की जमीन छीन जाने का झूठ फैलाता है, तो उस पर कोई कैसे विश्वास कर सकता है।
Launching the projects on the occasion of Basant Panchami, the Prime Minister expressed hope that the day may invigorate the nation and bring in enthusiasm in the country. The event marked the 112th birth anniversary celebrations of Maharaja Suhail Dev, who had defeated and killed the Ghaznavi general Ghazi Sayyid Salar Masood in a battle in Bahraij in 1033.
महमूद गजनवी के भांजे सैयद सालार
Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
सेना सहित संहार किया।
The Prime Minister has said that India's fight against COVID-19 is inspiring the world today. While at the beginning of the pandemic, apprehensions and concerns were raised as to how the country will handle the public health crisis that had badly affected the developed countries as well. Addressing the Platinum Jubilee celebrations of Sri Ramchandra Mission, the Prime Minister said that the household wisdom and Yoga Ayurveda played key role in handling the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. He noted that India is following a human-centric approach to furthering global good.
हम सभी इस बात के भी साक्षी हैं कि कैसे 130 करोड़ भारतीयों की सतर्कता कोरोना की लड़ाई में दुनिया के लिए मिसाल बन गई। इस लड़ाई में हमारे घरों में सिखाई गई बातें, आदतें और योग आयुर्वेद ने भी बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई है। इस महामारी की शुरुआत भारत की स्थिति को लेकर पूरी दुनिया चिंतित थी, लेकिन आज कोरोना से भारत की लड़ाई दुनिया भर को प्रेरित कर रही है।
Underlining the importance of yoga and Ayurveda in the post-COVID world, the Prime Minister said they can contribute to a healthier planet. The Prime Minister also called upon the people to work towards making India a hub for spiritual and wellness tourism.
योग के साथ ध्यान की भी आज के विश्व को बहुत अधिक आवश्यकता है। दुनिया के कई बड़े संस्थान ये दावा कर चुके हैं कि अवसाद, डिप्रेशन मानव जीवन की कितनी बड़ी चुनौती बनता जा रहा है। ऐसे में मुझे विश्वास है कि आप अपने हार्टफुलनेस कार्यक्रम से योग और ध्यान के जरिए इस समस्या से निपटने में मानवता की मदद करेंगे।
And Prime Minister Modi on Tuesday also met Alok Sharma, the president of the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference, and held discussions on India-UK cooperation on climate change agenda and upcoming COP26. Prime Minister Modi conveyed best wishes to the United Kingdom for the successful organization of the climate summit scheduled to be held in November this year. Earlier, Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar also met Alok Sharma and discussed important issues for negotiations to be held in Glasgow later this year. During the meet, Javadekar told him about various initiatives taken by India on renewables, disaster-resilient infrastructure, adaptation, electrical buses, on metro expansion, also reduction of emission intensity, as well as increasing tree cover. Prime Minister Modi will address the NASSCOM Technology and Leadership Forum on Wednesday via video conferencing. The 29th edition of NTLF is being organized from the 17th of February till the 19th. It is the flagship event of the National Association of Software and Service Companies. The theme of this year's event is Shaping the Future Towards a Better Normal. The event will host 1,600 participants from more than 30 countries, and over 30 products will be showcased during the 3 days of talks. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Tuesday explained the government's priorities to the Reserve Bank of India's Central Board during their first meeting after presentation of the Union Budget 2021-22. During the discussion, the board reviewed the current economic situation, global and domestic challenges, and various areas of operations of the Reserve Bank, including ways for strengthening of grievance redressal mechanism in the banks. The 587th meeting of the Central Board of Directors of RBI was held under the chairmanship of RBI Governor Shaktikant Das through video conferencing. As per tradition, the Finance Minister holds customary meeting with the board members of RBI and the Securities and Exchange Board of India after presenting the budget every year. The new policy that the government announced on geospatial data on Monday has come as a huge relief for the private sector and research organizations. Until now, companies in need of geospatial data had to take prior approval, licenses and security clearances before they could acquire, produce or publish it. The new policy eases these rules, creates an enabling environment for private players and helps innovations. Here's a look at the policy in detail.
The central government announced sweeping changes in the country's mapping policy on Monday. The new rules liberalize regulations that apply to acquisition and production of geospatial data and services, including surveying and mapping. The easing of norms will enable Indian private firms to work without prior approvals in this regard. The move will not just generate employment, but will also help India achieve the goal of $5 trillion economy.
Our estimates indicate that by 2029, the geospatial economy would amount to as much as 99,000 crore, which would be able to generate employment for as many as 22 lakh people.
Geospatial data is used to describe data that represents features or objects on the Earth's surfaces. It is the core of the digital ecosystem. With the government making the geospatial data freely available in the country for innovation and private companies, it is expected to play a vital role in improving planning, governance, services, infrastructure and applications. The new policy has given Indian private players the freedom to handle mapping information without prior approval or restriction. The data will be helpful for private companies who are seeking maps and data that suit their specific purposes. Geospatial data is crucial for a variety of areas, including map analysis to disaster management. A change in policies will help startups, government and private agencies and research institutes in driving innovations and build scalable solutions. This move will help farmers to make agriculture more efficient. It will also generate employment and accelerate economic development.
Geospatial industry तो बाकी industries के लिए काम करती है. तो whether it is a logistics or education or taxes or आपका ये mobility, आप किसी भी क्षेत्र का नाम ले लीजिए, तो उनको सही समय में, कम समय में immediately उनको डेटा प्रोवाइड कर पाएगी, जिससे जो करंट होगा. इस मैपिंग में सबसे बड़ी बातें होती हैं, आप उसको कितना रियल टाइम में एक्यूरेट डेटा रख सकते हैं.
The move will help promote innovation in the area and create equal opportunities for public-private institutions. Navvikram Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
In some other significant news, after a standoff lasting almost 10 months, India and China have finally started disengaging their troops and tanks from the banks of Pangong Lake in eastern Ladakh. In images and videos released by the Indian Army on Tuesday, Chinese troops can be seen removing several bunkers, temporary posts and other structures in the northern bank areas while gradually thinning down their troops in the region. The visuals also show the Chinese using earth movers or JCBs to restore soil that was dug up to set up various pieces of infrastructure on the north and south bank of the Pangong Lake. The disengagement, remember, began last Wednesday. The BJP on Tuesday announced names of candidates for the by-elections for 2 Rajya Sabha seats in Gujarat. The party has nominated Dinesh Anavaria and Ram Mokaria as candidates for the by-polls, which will be held on the 1st of March. The by-elections for 2 Rajya Sabha seats in Gujarat were necessitated following the demise of Congress leader Ahmed Patel and BJP leader Abhay Bharadwaj. The Rajya Sabha terms of Patel and Bharadwaj were to end in August 2023 and June 2026, respectively. 18th of February is the last date for filing nominations, while 22nd February is the last date for withdrawal. Voting, if needed, will be held on the 1st of March. The counting of votes will also be held the same day. Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge is the new leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu on Tuesday accorded recognition to Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge as the leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha. Kharge will be the 17th leader of the opposition in the upper house since December 1969. Ghulam Nabi Azad's tenure as member of Rajya Sabha and LOP ended on the 15th of February. Meanwhile, Rajya Sabha Chairman Naidu has accepted the resignation of Trinamool Congress MP Dinesh Trivedi. On the 12th of this month, Trivedi had announced his resignation in the upper house. Ahead of Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's visit to Puducherry, the Congress government in the Union Territory has lost its majority, with another ruling party legislator resigning on Tuesday. Congress MLA A. John Kumar has resigned from his post, becoming the 4th legislator to quit the assembly since last month, while 1 Congress member has been disqualified. Puducherry Assembly has 30 elected and 3 nominated seats. With Kumar's resignation, the strength of the Congress in the Assembly has decreased to 10, including the Speaker. Its ally DMK has 3 members, while 1 independent MLA also supports the government. The opposition, which also has 14 MLAs, has demanded the resignation of Chief Minister V. Narayanasamy, saying his government is now in minority. The simple majority in the Assembly with the reduced strength is 15. The Assembly polls are likely to be held in April, and the House's term ends on the 8th of June 2021. And time for a short break here on News Tonight. More updates on the other side. Do stay with us. Watch Reset India tonight at 10 p.m. only on Rajya Sabha television.
Article 51 says that the state shall endeavour to promote international peace and security, to maintain just and honourable relations between nations, to foster respect for international laws and treaty obligations, and to encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration.
Ghata, one of the oldest and most unique percussion instruments of southern India. You can play it not only with your fingers, but palms, wrists and heels as well. You'll be surprised, but the air inside the ghatam reverberates, creating the musical notes. 5 elements of nature, earth, water, air, fire and space, make up the composition of this beautiful musical piece, which has found an apt place in most of the ancient books.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Intensifying its probe in the toolkit case, the Delhi police sought details from video conferencing platform Zoom on the participants of the 11th January meeting organized allegedly by a pro-Khalistani group to prepare a protest toolkit backing the farmers' agitation. The police alleged that Mumbai lawyer Nikita Jacob and Pune-based engineer Shantanu were among around 70 people who had attended the meet via Zoom app days before the Republic Day violence in the national capital. The violence left over 500 police personnel injured and one protester dead. On Monday, the Delhi police had alleged that Nikita and Shantanu had on the 11th of January attended a Zoom meeting in which modalities were decided to create the toolkit titled Global Farmer Strike and Global Day of Action 26th of January. Meanwhile, the Bombay High Court has granted transit bail to Shantanu Muluk. The court, however, reserved the verdict till Wednesday on the transit bail plea of Nikita Jacob. Shantanu and Nikita were named as suspects by the Delhi police in the case regarding the toolkit shared by climate activist Greta Thunberg on Twitter. Envoys from Europe and Africa will visit Jammu and Kashmir on Wednesday to assess the development work and the security situation in the Union Territory, especially after the successful completion of the District Development Council elections. They said during their two-day visit, the envoys would receive first-hand information on the development work undertaken in the Union Territory after the abrogation of the special status of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir on the 5th of August 2019. Last year, envoys from 17 countries, including the US, had visited Jammu and Kashmir. Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla will be on a two-day official visit to Moscow from Wednesday at the invitation of Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Igor Morgulov. The Foreign Secretary will hold the next round of India-Russia Foreign Office consultations with the Deputy Foreign Minister, during which the two sides will review the entire gamut of bilateral relations, including the forthcoming high-level exchanges. During the visit, Shringla will also meet Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov for an exchange of views on topical issues of regional and international importance. At least 45 people, including 20 women, have been killed in a bus accident in Madhya Pradesh Siddhi district on Tuesday morning. The packed bus was on its way to Satna from Siddhi when it skidded off the road and plunged into a canal. Around 54 people were travelling on board the bus. Expressing grief over the mishap, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved an ex gratia amount of 2 lakh rupees each for the next of kin of those who lost their lives and 50,000 rupees compensation to those seriously injured. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has announced an ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees each to the kin of the deceased. President Ramnath Kovind also expressed condolences to the bereaved families. In a Twitter message, he prayed for the speedy recovery of those injured. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu also said he was deeply anguished by the loss of lives and expressed his heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. Over 88 lakh beneficiaries have been vaccinated for COVID-19 through 1,90,665 sessions so far. These include 62 lakh healthcare workers and 25 lakh frontline workers. 60% healthcare workers have also been administered the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, while 2,16,000 healthcare workers have taken the second dose.
First 1 month in this country, we have vaccinated 60% of all healthcare workers, both in the public and the private field. Coming to the second dose, we have given 1,70,678, which is 37.5% of the eligible population. Among frontline workers, 24,57,000 frontline workers have been vaccinated, which is 26.3%.
Meanwhile, India's active coronavirus cases have declined to 1,36,000, comprising just 1.25% of the total cases. 9,121 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the COVID-19 tally to 1.09 crore, while the death toll increased to 1.55 lakh with 81 new fatalities. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 97.32%, with 11,805 recoveries in the same period. The centre, meanwhile, informed on Tuesday that 4 people have been detected with the South Africa variant of SARS-CoV-2 in January, while 1 person tested positive for the Brazil variant in the first week of February. The number of people who have tested positive for the UK coronavirus variant has reached 187. On the 74th raising day of the Delhi Police, Minister of State for Home Affairs G. Kishan Reddy addressed the police personnel. He congratulated the Delhi Police and said that the Home Ministry will always keep the welfare of the police force in mind and their families as well as their topmost priority. In his address, G. Kishan Reddy also mentioned the Delhi Police Family Welfare Committee. Home Minister Amit Shah also extended greetings to the Delhi police personnel and saluted their courage, restraint and determination in ensuring the security of the capital of the country.
देश तरक्की और बढ़ रहा है। कई ऐसी भारत विरोध ताकतें हैं जो देश में इंस्टेबिलिटी लाना चाहते हैं। देश राजधानी दिल्ली में उनका पहला टारगेट रहती है। पिछले वर्ष फरवरी मंथ में के दौरान दिल्ली में हुए इलीगल प्रोटेस्ट और राइट्स भी इस साजिश का एक हिस्सा था, परंतु जिस प्रोफेशनलिज्म और काउंटमेंट के साथ दिल्ली पुलिस ने उसको हैंडल किया गया, वहां देश के सभी पुलिस फोर्सेस के लिए एक आदर्श है दिल्ली पुलिस।
The Union Home Minister also saluted the courage, restraint and determination of the Delhi Police in ensuring the safety and security of the national capital. Former Governor of Bihar and Jharkhand, M. Rama Joyce, passed away on Tuesday after prolonged illness. A former Rajya Sabha MP, he also served as the Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court. President Ramnath Kovind condoled his demise and said that he had made remarkable contribution to courts, parliament and administration. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu also remembered Rama Joyce as a distinguished legal luminary. Prime Minister Modi expressed his grief and said that his contribution made India's democratic fabric stronger. Basant Panchami and Saraswati Puja are being celebrated across the country today, with several temples and religious places holding special pujas. Some devotees were also seen taking a holy dip in the Ganga River. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other leaders extended greetings on the occasion. The President wished that the arrival of spring brings happiness and prosperity in the lives of all countrymen. The Vice President wished that Goddess Saraswati bless everyone with knowledge, wisdom, happiness and prosperity. Prime Minister Modi also greeted citizens on the occasion of Basant Panchami and Saraswati Puja.
मां सरस्वती भारत के ज्ञान विज्ञान को और समृद्ध करे। आज का दिन विद्या आरंभ और अक्षर ज्ञान के लिए बहुत शुभ दिन माना जाता है। तुलसीदास जी कहते हैं, ऋतु बसंत बह त्रिविध बयारी, यानी वसंत ऋतु में शीतल, मंद, सुगंध ऐसी 3 प्रकार की हवा बह रही है। इसी हवा, इसी मौसम में खेत, खलिहान, बाग, बगान से लेकर जीवन का हर हिस्सा आनंदित हो रहा है। वाकई हम जिस तरफ देखें तो फूलों की बहार है। हर जीव वसंत ऋतु के स्वागत में खड़ा है। ये वसंत महामारी की निराशा को पीछे छोड़कर आगे बढ़ते भारत के लिए नई उम्मीद, नई उमंग लेकर आया है।
So that's it from us in this bulletin. Good night and thank you for your time.